Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Congratulations to each of you and to your families and friends that are all here. I know it's a big day, and we appreciate your time. Judge Becerra, I want to come with you. You had a membership in the American Constitution Society from 2009 to 2010, correct?
I did.
Great. I've asked a previous nominee about their membership, so I'd like to ask you to get you on the record about this. I want to read you a portion of the mission statement from the ACS website. It states that ACS's mission includes redressing, and I quote, the founding failures of our Constitution and enduring inequities in our laws in pursuit of realized equality, end quote. So in your role as an advocate and now as a magistrate judge, do you subscribe to that part of the mission statement? And what do you see as the enduring inequities in our laws that need to be redressed?
So thank you for the question, Senator Blackburn. As you noted, I'm no longer a member of the ACS. I was a member of the ACS for a short period of time. It may not surprise you to know that I was a high school debater. And some friends of mine who are old high school debaters wanted to start a chapter in Miami to encourage debate and debate on legal questions. That didn't really go so well. We weren't very successful. And then after that, I went back to tend to the business of my law firm.
Do you subscribe to the mission statement? That's what I'm asking you.
So, Senator, I'm not familiar with their mission statement today. Okay. I haven't kept up
so
with it.
So you joined but did not notice the mission statement?
Senator, I'm not even sure if that was the mission statement back 15 years ago.
Right. We will. That is their recorded statement. So do you see enduring inequities in our laws?
Senator, what I know is enduring about our laws is the Constitution and the values and the rights that are in the Constitution. And as a sitting magistrate judge, that is what I honor.
All right. Let me move on with you. I want to ask you about some comments that you defended, comments that Justice Sotomayor made. And Justice O'Connor once said that a wise old man and a wise old woman would reach the same conclusion in deciding cases. And I agree with that. Justice Sotomayor did not. So in response to Justice O'Connor, she went so far as to say, and I'm quoting her, I would hope that a wise Latina woman with the richness of her experiences would more often than not reach a better conclusion than a white male who hasn't lived that life, end quote. So you defended those comments by saying they were taken out of context, but I've given you the full sentence. So I'd like to know, do you think the law is subjective? Do you think that you should be ruling on the rule of law? Do you think that a judge's experiences should weigh into the decision that they make?
Senator, I think that a judge's role and the role that I have played for the last 5 years is to look at the facts honestly and scrupulously, to be a student of the law and to apply the facts to the law in an impartial way. I don't believe a judge's personal opinion or personal opinions should affect that.
Okay, do you regret having defended that statement?
I don't believe I defended the statement. I think what was happening at the time is she had just been nominated. I had been asked.
All right, let me move on. I've got 1 minute then. I want to ask you about sentencing guidelines, and reading some of these things in the background, I was a little bit concerned if you had felt things should be subjectively done, if you felt like there were inequities in the law. See, you can see, looking at your background, where I would come up with some of that. So we had a nominee recently, a judge, Mr. Aframe, and he had refused to follow sentencing guidelines in a horrific child pornography case. The guidelines recommended a life in prison sentence, and he chose to go for a 60-year sentence. And to me, that would be a disqualifier. It is a disqualifier. This is someone I will not vote for. Is there any scenario where you would deviate from sentencing guidelines recommendation of life imprisonment for a lower sentence?
So, Senator, the factors of 3553 are very clear, and those are what I will follow. The sentencing guidelines, of course, are no longer mandatory, but how we apply them is guided by the precedent of the 11th Circuit, and that is what I would follow. When I was a prosecutor many years ago here in the District of Columbia, the guidelines didn't apply here. And so I saw firsthand what some of the inequities could be when you didn't have the guidelines. And then, of course, I was a prosecutor in Miami for many years when the guidelines were mandatory. And so I've been a prosecutor in both of those scenarios. And so from my perspective, I think you follow the factors that you are allowed to follow, that you are told to follow by this body, and then you are guided by 11th Circuit precedent in how you determine those factors.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Blackburn, Senator Coons.
Thank you, Chairman Durbin. Thank you to all the nominees who are before us today and to my colleagues who've engaged in a robust